The ideas and opinions expressed in the Black Shirt podcast are not necessarily the ideas and opinions of our sponsors.
We're back! Welcome to the Black Shirt Podcast,
That's
episode...
right. 7. I feel like it's
Episode
7.
7, yeah.
7 feels like it's the right number.
Yes, coming to you live from Austin, Texas. Thank you guys for tuning in. We got a great show tonight. Today we're going to talk about DC Fandome, Part 1, that we experienced last weekend. Which covers the Black Adam, Gotham Knights video game, Wonder
New
Woman
Batman.
cast, Suicide Squad 2, the Batman, like you said, the Batman, and a bunch of other stuff we're going to talk about.
Yeah, we're going to throw a little Star Wars at the end. Maybe we'll talk about some weird dictators at the end. You know,
Before
what are you going to do?
Before we get started, we want to thank all of our new followers. We got a bunch of followers this week. Yeah. A bunch of people in the U.S., a bunch of people in Brazil.
Shout out to motherfucking Brazil. I forgot how to say hey. So, we really tried.
So, obrigado.
Obrigado to our Brazilian fans.
That means thank you. If I said it wrong, we're just trying to say thanks. So thank you guys.
Appreciate it.
Thanks everybody for tuning in. So let's get down to some nitty gritty. What do you say? Oh, and first off, if you just started watching, like, share, subscribe, do all that stuff.
Follow.
Yes.
Tell a friend. Maybe write a cool blog post.
Yes.
In your live journal.
And if you don't have time to watch us, but you like to listen to podcasts on your commute to work or when you're doing, you can listen to us. Go to Apple Podcasts, Spotify Podcasts, all the podcasts. We're in there. Black Shirt Podcast.
Separate title. We're not untitled.
No. Check it out.
Sorry, I subtitle every episode. It's my favorite. What a stupid thing to do.
I'll get us on title.
I don't want it. I don't want to be on title, man.
All right.
Well,
all right. Well,
most of this episode's gonna be all this fucking choice material we've gotten
nuggets
from the fucking DC Fandome experience, which Clint and I actually took the time out of our busy schedules to watch. I don't know 6 hours of DC Fandome footage.
It was awesome. We got some.
A lot.
Shout out to Yagi's Pizza. We got some Yagi's Pizza.
So good.
I put in this studio. I put a giant screen in here, and we just watched it in here and drank beer and ate pizza. Awesome. It was dope. We started to cover it live. I was like, "You think we'll get in trouble? Because it is trademarked, copyrighted material. Do you think we'll get in trouble for sharing this? And we could live stream worse things and then we just said, you know what? We're not going to work and do this. Not that this is work, but let's just hang out and then we'll do it. So I did. I did capture some stuff. And we're gonna pop it in here. So let's move on. So I didn't put there's our DC Fandome with the lightning.
It was a lot better than I expected. With this kind of stuff, obviously with the way the world is right now, you're looking at this stuff and you're kind of like, okay, like how good can it really be for a fucking what would essentially be a digital virtual Comic-Con? It's all this stuff is like San Diego Comic-Con exclusive stuff normally. That's where you had to be there, you had to have a badge, you had to like dress up as fucking Batman to get in, but because of all this COVID shit, we got to just watch it at home, which was pretty great. Because like I said,
awesome.
The average person wouldn't get to see these things day of normally.
It's funny. It's like Wizard and all these other places they're doing all these different things. The same time that we were watching DC Fandome, there was a Lois and Clark.
Yeah.
Those people were doing a Wizard thing and where you pay to do the Wizard Con virtual experience. I'm like,
I ain't paying for no virtual.
Not when I got free Fandome.
I ain't farting on no snare drum.
DC is not playing around right now. Like, man, they've got so much new content coming this way. Like it's ridiculous. And the way they're doing it, the way they're putting everything together, I almost feel like they were like, okay, let's let Marvel get this stuff out of their system.
We're just rope-a-dope.
Yeah, and now
let them throw like 86 punches and then like eat them all, and then I'm gonna fucking haymake you with a bunch of TV shows that I made.
Which I'm not knocking. I love Marvel.
Marvel's great.
I love Marvel,
but they do lack. They're lacking in the bulge when you're coming to talk about the TV department.
Right, yeah.
The TV situation with Marvel kind of got buttholed when Netflix lost the deal with the Marvel shows because they were doing super well with those Marvel shows other than the Defenders, which sucked. Joker was amazing. The Defenders was just really doo-doo, but like when you look at Luke Cage as a standalone show, really good.
Jessica Jones was my jam. I loved Jessica Jones.
That was my least favorite of the three, but
that was one of my favorites. I loved that show.
But Punisher,
what was it? David Tennant was it the first?
Yeah, Purple Man.
He was.
They
ridiculous.
broke out some. See, I feel like DC really doubled down on the like, we're gonna take some obscure characters and make them fucking cool. Because like Marvel was like, we're gonna throw Purple Man in here. Let's see what these guys have to say about Purple Man, a guy that no one's heard of. He's actually a really powerful Marvel villain.
I was like, why is Doctor Who so mean?
He's one of those ones that when you start looking at powers, like there's a DC kind of DC kind of theory that Plastic Man's actually the strongest DC character in existence because his powers have not been defined. So he has, like, technically infinite stretch.
Huh.
So if he wanted to, he could just stretch around the whole goddamn planet. So it's like, same thing with Marvel, where, like, Purple Man's one of those guys where he can mind control anyone, and almost nobody is immune to that. So it's like, if he mind controlled the Sentry, which has been done, but if he mind controlled the Incredible Hulk.
What about, like, the, I don't know.
Hey, Brian's here.
Professor X or
yeah, sure. You could definitely if he mind control
Jean Grey or the Phoenix
because of the gray area of like his power is X and no one has ever not been.
I got it.
No one's been able
it's to. It's undefined. It's not. It's,
right, which makes him
not infinite. But
you are the best kind of correct, which is technically correct.
Technically.
So yeah, Fandome was super sick, but DC's really fucking. They're pulling out all the stops. They're throwing haymakers with this upcoming season of stuff that they've got. And I think that this is definitely a stark rebuttal to Marvel's, 10-year reign on media. But I really enjoyed a lot of the stuff that we got to see. What's first on the list?
Actually, I've got the Black Adam is first on
Black
the
Adam,
list. Yes, and we did. I was really stoked to see The Rock. The Rock's making some power moves, dude. He's doing the Black Adam, and he's
stole
also
the XFL.
He just got the XFL. He's
like stole it.
He's like, all right, it's time for everybody to smell what I've been cooking. Yeah. So here it is. So here's a little clip that I appreciated.
I remember seeing this and being like,
that's when you appreciate something, you take it, you run away, and you say appreciate it. So here we go. Boom. Yes, this was just some artwork stuff that they had done.
Shit.
Yeah, they didn't want to. They're excited. You could tell he's stoked about this project, and he didn't want to show up empty-handed. So he's like, "Hey guys, can you throw this together?" And they did a great job. It looks really cool.
And if you realize that the Black Adam story is a Tony Stark rebuttal, if you realize Black Adam is one of the more powerful DC characters who kind of hasn't gotten any limelight, he hasn't really gotten the star treatment that he deserves. He's one of those that. It's crazy because DC and Marvel have both been around for 100 years.
Yeah.
So you're looking at characters that have been around for ages. Captain Marvel is arguably one of the first DC characters ever. And Black Adam's his main villain. Mm-hmm. I know The Rock's been talking about this for a long time. He's kind of I would say it's kind of like a pet project.
You could tell he's super stoked on this thing.
He wanted this. He was like, I want to be Black Adam. Specifically.
I don't remember if he said it was 7 or 13 years that he's been pushing for this for a long time. The thing about Black Adam that makes him super powerful is that he doesn't show any restraint. Where you get like a normal superhero
Shazam,
isn't going to go full bore because they don't want to destroy.
No, he'll just punch your head in half because he doesn't give a shit.
Exactly.
And so I think that's kind of like always kind of been his lore is that he's like the like heavy-handed Shazam. He's I don't think they're gonna give him the elf ears, Garrett, but I wish they would. He did have Namor ears, just like kind of like Prince Namor or the Submariner, if you're real cool.
I was just gonna say that.
He was one of my faves when I was a kid. I loved Submariner. He's really powerful too. He's one of those. He's the like DC equivalent of Aquaman.
Yeah.
Or wait, am I high? Marvel equivalent. Sorry, yeah. Marvel equivalent of Aquaman.
He's the poor man's Aquaman.
Right, yeah, he is. But he's cooler. He's like, he's much more like, fuck humans. Like, I don't even give a shit. Aquaman's like, I'm half human, so I have to be kind of cool about it. And he's like, don't care. I'm all about them water folk. Fuck y'all.
Yeah, another thing that I think they're gonna, and a lot of people are speculating. I think that they might have a cameo of Superman in this thing.
Yeah, he did kind of mention
I'm gonna play right now why I think that. I'll play this next clip. Boom.
Because look, at the end of the day, you never know. Black Adam and Superman could become friends.
If you're watching this on our YouTube stream,
they won't. Who knows? Maybe we'll see.
Very
Maybe,
vague, very
maybe
vague.
we'll see.
Ooh, very vague, but one of those things. It's like you wouldn't bring it up.
Why would he say that?
Why would you
randomly?
say
That's
it?
what I'm saying.
There's no reason to bring that up.
Another thing,
it's like me saying I might make out with Famke Janssen tomorrow.
Another thing is his manager, his wife.
Oh, XFL lady.
She represents Henry Cavill. She represents Henry Cavill. So over
It's
dinner
all in
party, it wouldn't be hard to at least if he's not a main dude, at least just a quick pop in and hey, how's it going? CGI off his
Maybe
mustache.
shave that mustache.
Yeah, no, CG it.
Yeah, I don't know. That's gonna be. Like I said, I think DC has been biding their time, Joe Biden their time, literally just soaking up as much money as they could through the revenue of all their TV shows that they've got that have been on for 46 fucking
That
seasons.
are kicking ass.
Arrow, 9 seasons. Flash, 8 seasons. Even crappy ass Legends of Tomorrow, which I like all those characters.
I
Those
do
are
too.
characters that I, as a real nerd, really appreciate, but that show fucking sucks. It's not good. And
I do love all those characters though.
love them.
I don't know what the problem
Rip
is.
Hunter, fuck off. He's awesome. Firestorm, super sick. Captain Cold, get out of here. Like Heat Wave,
Sarah
great.
Lance.
Yeah.
She's
Awesome.
All of them.
those are super sick, but like that
zombie Sarah Lance.
is the least good of all the stuff DC put out, and it's still got like what 5 seasons. So I think they've just been sitting there cashing those fucking WB checks, or CW checks, and now they're gonna fucking unleash the hellstorm on Marvel because it's gonna
get
be
ready.
another 2 years before we get anything crazy with Marvel. We're gonna get Scarlet Witch and WandaVision, or WandaVision TV show.
Yeah, that's coming. There's a Hawkeye.
Yeah,
and Falcon.
Hawkeye and Falcon, and then you're gonna get the Wasp.
Otherwise known as the Birdsey twins.
True. Yeah, you'll get the Wasp, the Black Widow movie, which is coming.
Which is going to be badass.
But those are all like DC's done a better job of taking their second stringers and making them big stars. Marvel is really good at taking the big heavy hitters and making fucking epics out of them, and then giving a little bit of love to the guys on the side. DC kind of takes the angle of like, we're going to take characters that you have heard of maybe, but don't necessarily know anything about, and we're going to bring them to the limelight and give you a little more meat on the bone there. And so like Green Arrow, I've loved Green Arrow since I was a kid. He's one of my favorite characters. He's best friends with Green Lantern, so obviously I'm going to be about him. But he's also just a great character. Oliver Queen fucking kicks ass. But if you ask somebody 7 years ago about Green Arrow, they're going to be like, isn't that like Hawkeye but for DC? And that's going to be the majority of the, like the meat of what they know about him. Now that there's been 8 seasons of Arrow, Green Arrow's some people's favorite guy, whereas he wasn't anybody's favorite character. Same thing with, Firestorm. He might be somebody's favorite DC character now, whereas he was a guy that you'd never fucking heard of. So I think that's where DC's really going to pull out all the stops. Even Flash, Flash is noticeable, but very rarely does he get the limelight. Yeah. I mean, I guess he did in Infinite Crisis.
Dude, the Flash. I loved the Flash series. I love that series.
I still got to give it another shot.
I love it. I like
CW really fucks me with that love angle stuff. They really go into that, and it's just like, guys, I'm 32. Okay,
he
I know
is
you're writing this for teenagers.
He is the goody, but like I have Oliver Queen to be the dark guy, and then I watched Flash.
Which really, that's crazy because he's more of the plucky comic relief in the comics. Green Arrow's the guy that's making fun of you or like making a joke as the world's about to end. Flash is the guy that's panicking because his mom died 12 years ago and he wants to fix it.
And dude, I love the Supergirl series. So
didn't do that either.
No,
I hate Superman though. I don't fuck with.
I like Superman.
Yeah,
I love Superman, but like I started watching those other ones, and then I started getting bored, or maybe it was like a day that those weren't on, and I wanted something, so I was like, all right, I'm gonna give it a try. Give it a try. And dude, I really dug that show, like a lot. Like I found myself looking forward to it, and which is funny because like. Arrow, I love Arrow, but I remember when I was watching Game of Thrones and season 2 or 3, I think season 2, and I remember rushing home, and I was more excited about the Borgias. The Borgias,
wow.
I loved the Borgias too. Yeah,
didn't see that coming.
And all of a sudden I was like, dude, I'm actually more excited to see the Borgias than that's
Game of
weird
Thrones?
because I love me some Game of Thrones.
Well, so my friend Gary brings up a valid point. We talked about Stargirl last week.
Yes,
Stargirl's the first one of the DC shows that really trims the fat and just gets down to the fucking nitty gritty. It gives you exactly what you want. It's like, look, we know you want the superhero team ups. We know you want some cool characters. We know you want a little bit of arc, but you don't want to see anybody making out. You don't want anybody, oh, why'd you fuck my girlfriend? Like,
Yeah.
That's not why I don't read comics. That shit happens to me in real life. I don't need that in my fucking fantasy.
Yeah. I've had some problems with some of the romance stuff. I'm like, come on, dude. And
they lean in, especially with Arrow. They lean on it.
They really
like,
do.
Really, 2 or 3 episodes of a season will be just
when you're
drama.
watching Daredevil on Netflix, you're not gonna see them go and be like right before a battle scene like,
I love you.
This might be the last time we ever. Be careful.
It's more tastefully done.
Yeah, it's like no, it's more.
There's
It's
still
just more
romance.
real.
There's still romance, and it still builds up, but it isn't.
But those weren't as
emphasized.
Those aren't as campy. I know that they're campy. They break the third wall all the time, and especially in the crossovers or fourth wall, not third wall. They break the fourth wall all the time.
Third wall.
Yeah.
What's up? Say loud.
But yeah, it's funny. They do that all the time where they're like, oh, it's her first crossover. You know, they do stuff like that all the time. They did that with Batgirl where they're like
she's like, where am I?
She's like, blah blah blah. Oh, she doesn't know. It's her first crossover. Right. But anyway.
So I love those, and like I think DC's coming out swinging. After watching this, I have a lot more DC's always been my favorite. I'm a big DC nerd. Can't read what it says.
It says we're gonna put him on the screen. Boom. Thomas Sierra says
Mysterio isn't dead. What? We're not talking about Mysterio yet. Of course he's not dead. Duh.
Are you talking about Rey Mysterio Jr.?
No, Mysterio from fucking Spider-Man Home. You haven't seen Spider-Man Homecoming, have you? You gotta see it.
Yeah, I did. I saw it.
With Jake Gyllenhaal?
Yeah. I saw it in the theater.
It's amazing. Hey, what's up? Eric's here. Eric Braun. Yeah, it's amazing. And that's such a given. They tell you pretty much straight up that he's not fucking dead. And Mysterio, I thought that was like, I have to give it to both sides because Marvel's really taken some fucking risks. Like they did a really, really bizarre twist on Mysterio.
Did you say Bizarro?
No, bizarro twist on Mysterio, but it was just crazy enough to work, and it worked really well. I think it's going to set up the Sinister Six. We're talking about Spider-Man out of nowhere. We didn't plan on this.
Yes.
This is a DC episode.
Hold on, I have to write that
Thomas.
down. I have to write that into our schedule.
But I think they're setting up the Sinister Six. It's pretty apparent. You've got Vulture, who's the founding member of the Sinister Six. You've got he meets the Scorpion in jail. Then you've got Mysterio. And they show Shocker. So you've got 4 out of. I know, yeah, that's a clutch move, right? And you got everybody knows Mysterio ain't dead. Garrett knows Mysterio ain't dead. So yeah, Marvel and DC have both been stepping it up, and we're kind of in a lull right now with 2020 just being what it is.
But it's coming, dude.
It's
all
coming.
the stuff.
I think it's gonna make 2021
the best year ever.
If 2021 is the last year that we get, I don't care because we got so much shit that I've waited my whole fucking life for.
All these projects that we saw, I started looking up the dates. I was like, I got to write down all the release dates.
Oh.
All of them were just like 2021.
Someday.
I'm like, okay, Google. When is the Wonder Woman coming? It's like everything is 2021.
Wonder Woman was actually one of the only ones
the only
that
one.
has a release date, but whatever. Yeah.
I was just breaking the third wall again.
The third wall. So we got Black Adam out of the way, and Black Adam is obviously there's not much on it. Shazam 2's coming.
Let's talk about my favorite part of DC Fandome was watching your reaction to
the following, which I will I will point out that I definitely called the fucking title of this as soon as I saw the first 4 seconds of the fucking trailer.
I'll give you a hint. It's a video game.
Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you Batman Arkham Knights, probably game of the year 2021.
Boom. So this is a little clip.
You've always had my back when I needed you.
I only captured this
I know
audio.
you keep Gotham safe.
okay.
Good luck.
And goodbye.
And goodbye.
Good luck. And
God,
goodbye.
that
Holy
hurts.
crap.
Stings.
Give me goosebumps. And
So here you see if you have played any of the Batman Arkham City, Arkham Asylum, Arkham Knight, which is funny that they had a game called Arkham Knight. This is going to be basically your standard Batman's gone, we got to step it up scenario. This has happened more than once in the comics. You got Nightwing, you got Damian Wayne, Batman's son, you got Batgirl and Jason Todd as Red Hood in a co-op Arkham City game. Woo, girl, let me tell you. This is going to I swear this is going to be game of the year. Because those Arkham City games, those Batman games, dude, I haven't finished them all. Like, I've played quite a bit. I put a lot of time in. God damn, Nightwing's gonna whoop you. I put a lot of time in those games, bro, and I didn't even come close to beating them. And I think really what lost me was that I was alone. It wasn't that they weren't enjoyable. It was that you weren't able to share it with a friend. And now this looks like, from what I can understand, just a co-op fucking Batman game without Batman in it, Prime. But other than that, what's not to like? I've been itching my whole fucking life. If they make a Ninja Turtles game like this, it'll be the end of the world. Because this is the way Ninja Turtles was meant to be played. Obviously, why would you ever want to be a Ninja Turtle by yourself? The whole fucking point of it is to be with your bros. And so I just can't wait to jump in here, be Nightwing, crack a motherfucker in the head with an Eskrima stick.
Yes.
Fight Mr. Freeze with my friend, who's going to be Batgirl or Jason Todd or fucking Damian Wayne, who can teleport for some reason, which is pretty crazy.
Gotham Knights.
God, I was so proud of myself for calling the title on that.
Yes.
I knew that was what...
Actually, you said Arkham, so you said Arkham Knights, so...
Oh, no, I didn't. Did I? Damn. I don't give a fuck. I got it right. So that was Gotham Knights. Did I say Arkham Knights when we introed?
When we introed, it's okay.
Ah, fucked it. Whatever.
That's okay.
Yeah.
I'll
edit it out.
The version that we put on YouTube, I'll just splice it out.
Arkham Knights. So, yeah, that game...
It's Gotham Knights.
Yeah, fuck, I did it again.
Gotham Knights.
Gotham. Alfred. That game's going to be fucking bonkers,
Oh, it's going to be dope, man. It's going to be so much fun.
DC's really... They're pulling out all the stops. They're like, dude, we're going to put out all the TV shows. We've got good movies coming. And we got games. Marvel's really slacked in the fucking game department. There's not a lot of games out. They've got that Avengers game coming out, and it looks kind of cool, but it doesn't hold a fucking candle to Gotham Knights. Not even close. Just a demo trailer of Gotham Knights beats the entire demo of the Avengers video game. It fully does. And, like, so I think that I think 2020, back 9 of 2020, front 9 of 2021 is going to be the fucking DC Renaissance. And they're going to put Marvel on their fucking back foot with this shit. And it's going to be awesome.
It is going to be awesome.
There's a lot, dude. And that's not even counting Batman. The Batman, which we're going to talk about that later. But that's the feather in the cap. This is all just gravy here that we're talking about.
Estevanes asked if this is live. I'm going to put you on
it's
the
Estevan.
Yes.
Estevan used to be my upstairs neighbor. I fucking love Estevan.
Yes, we are
what
live.
What did he say? Is it live? Of course I'm live, bro. I've been live since fucking 1988.
Live.
What up? Yeah. So
dive.
DC's killing the game with a lot of stuff, but it definitely feels a little belated.
You want to do an air horn for Esteban?
Sure. Give air horn. Esteban, this one's for you, brother.
Yeah, buddy.
Upstairs neighbor. He used to be my upstairs neighbor. That's right.
That's right.
So what else was next? We got we did
Let's see.
Black Adam.
Okay,
Wonder Woman time.
we got Wonder Woman time. It was cool, dude. It was really cool. They showed we've all seen the Wonder Woman trailer. They've been pushing this movie hard.
Delayed it because of the Rona.
Because the thing, it's coming out October 2nd, which is creeping up. October 2nd,
it'll be here tomorrow.
2020.
Fucking breathe and it's
before you know it.
Yeah.
So let's see here. Wonder Woman. They put the Wonder Woman cast in, and they had the whole guy. I'm going to enlarge this for just a second. Cover me up. Enlarge this bad boy. You can see everybody there. Yeah. All of them.
Shout out to Clint for doing all the work because all this clip art stuff is all his domain.
And
yeah, that picture of Linda Carter is
and she was a surprise guest and popped in there, and she they pretty much told her that how great she was, and that everything they did they're always keeping her in mind, and thanked her for
She's got to have a cameo, right? Like it has to be. She'll be like the lady that works at the bank or something.
It'll be a thumb in the eye to Marvel for
right.
Like
yeah.
She'll be like a mail person carrying the mail or something.
Stanley.
Yeah.
No. So this little panel was really fun to watch. They were really loving that. Kristen Wiig actually hadn't met Linda Carter at all.
Yeah.
And never had met her, and so she popped in on the panel and surprised her.
And was super stoked.
Super stoked. You can see her get a little bit verklempt.
Yeah.
Talk amongst yourselves. And they also showed what I thought to be probably the biggest reveal of the trailers yet, because I've shown a couple trailers. The movie looks amazing as far as like cinematography goes. It's got that like chromatic colors, I don't know. It reminds me of like the old NBC logo. If the NBC logo was the color palette for this film.
Yeah.
But Kristen Wiig is gonna be fucking Cheetah.
Cheetah, man.
Man, and they actually show. Yeah.
Boom, that's her.
Now that's some White Walker looking ass CGI, but I'm really hoping they learn their lesson from the Cats movie that came out, and they do a little more.
It does look like a White Walker.
Yeah, hopefully they give a little more. They realize they're like, guys, we learned our lesson with making cat people look wrong because that movie biffed it hard.
Dude, she looked really cool though in the trailer. If you haven't seen it, go look at the trailer. The trailer looks awesome. I'm very, very excited for this movie. I enjoyed the last one a bunch, and this one looks like it's going to be fantastic.
I like Chris Pine also.
Chris Pine's awesome. I like all the stuff where they're recycling the idea of like when you brought Wonder Woman into like civilization, she's walking around and she's like, "What's this?" And he's like, "Oh, that's a car," or whatever. You know what I mean? Like that was a fun part of the of the first movie is her innocence and not knowing what was up in the real world, not being on a little island.
Yeah.
And now they're bringing Chris Pine into the future.
Right.
And he's like, "Oh, is this art too?" And they're like, "No, that's a trash can."
Right.
And that's really funny, and it's a
role reversal.
Yeah, and it's an interesting, funny way to get humor. It's like a really easy way to make jokes.
Actually, you know what it reminded me of was remember I was just talking to you earlier about this, the Star Trek films, the original Star Trek movie. I think it's maybe part 2 or maybe part 4. They go into the future, and they like. Obviously they're from the fucking future, and so they're in like 1975 California, and they're like, "What's this thing?" And it's like a car, and and they're just like, some guy like
I've seen that. Yeah,
some guy tells William Shatner he calls him a dumbass. He's like, "Get out of the street, dumbass!" And then William Shatner, I think he improv this line, and it's great. And he's like, "Oh yeah, well, a double dumbass on you." He gives him one of these, a double dumbass on you.
Is that when they end up on the bus together?
Yeah, and the punk rock guy, he fucking Vulcan nerve pinches the punk dude. And then turns out that the whales, I think Nimoy directed that one, and that's why, because he's kind of a hippie. And so...
I saw that clip not too long
ago. What
ago.
a film, though. Those films really do hold up well. So Wonder Woman 1980, was it called 84?
1984. Nope, 1984, and it's it'll be out October 2nd.
I feel like that's going to be a real Technicolor fucking colorful metaphors. I think it's going to be a real Technicolor. I think it's gonna be a lot of fun to watch, like visually. I think it's gonna be a lot of fun to see.
Like the first time you saw The Wizard of Oz, is that what you mean?
Yeah, kind of. I think it's gonna be that the color had a lot to do with Wizard of Oz.
Yeah,
and so I think it's gonna be the same thing where color's gonna play a lot into the film itself. Like it's gonna really frame it really well.
Also, like with Stranger Things and stuff like that, it's fun to hit that era.
I'm sure the music's gonna be fucking bomb too.
Oh, it'll be awesome.
It'll be really good.
Yeah, it reminds me of my childhood. I grew up in the '80s, so like parachute pants and
Gonna be tight. They haven't explained how they get Chris Pine to the future yet.
No, I'm wondering about that.
Yeah, I am too, because it's like, how is he not old? But we'll find out. I guess maybe she like. I don't know. Maybe if you make out with an Amazon, you become immortal.
Let's find out.
Yeah. So,
Sonny, what's up, buddy?
Hey, man.
Boom.
Sonny's here.
Yeah. Well, what else we got?
Gang's
we had the Suicide Squad was really cool.
Garrett, if you haven't seen this, you got to watch this trailer.
Yeah, it was cool. We didn't put the trailer up here, but I just got a little footage of us.
Hey.
Yeah, I just froze it. Let's see if I can get a funny face.
Yeah.
They put the cast out there. What a great cast!
It's got a lot of star power, man, for a dumb one-off side show.
Pete Davidson, John Cena, Margot Robbie, Idris Elba. Yeah, Nathan Fillion.
And fucking Peter Capaldi.
Alice Braga,
Michael
Taiki
Rooker.
Waititi, Michael Rooker.
Yep. And then
Storm
what's his name? Old Gunn's brother. Rob Gunn or whatever his name is.
Joel Kinnaman.
Yep.
Peter Capaldi, you already said that. Jay Courtney. Fluta Borg was hilarious.
Everybody likes Fluta Borg.
Sean Gunn.
I'd never heard of Fluta Borg. He's a model or something.
He's hilarious during that thing.
He killed
was
during
super
the panel,
funny.
But I didn't know who he was, like why he was relevant. But I guess he's a
Viola
supermodel.
Davis is a perfect Amanda Waller. Yeah, I saw that. It was like she's
she could
perfect.
be fatter. The original Amanda Waller's super big. It's a big lady. And that's kind of like part of her shtick too. She's like, I'm a whole heap of woman and I don't take no guff. You know what I mean?
Daniela Melchior. I can't even say that.
I don't know who's she supposed to be.
She's a rat catcher too.
Oh,
they kept
damn.
saying. I don't know if that was an inside joke, but they kept calling her rat catcher two.
No, because the original rat catcher was a man.
Okay, that's why.
That's why.
Yeah, that's what they were calling her, rat catcher two.
Which is a strange. This Suicide Squad, the Suicide Squad, also probably should have just threw a 2 on there or something for the title. Because it's the movie. First movie was called Suicide Squad. Second movie is called The Suicide Squad. Meh. But when you're talking about the cast, they jumped up a lot. Because first Suicide Squad cast sucked.
Well, they're like, it's
don't give a
almost.
fuck about.
You think it's like almost like a redo? Let's just keep Margot Robbie and then just
Right, like a mulligan.
Yeah.
Yeah, the first Suicide Squad cast. You're
It's
just
sponsored by HBO Max.
You're like, Katana? I don't give a fuck about Katana, man.
Jennifer Holland. We don't want to leave these two out. And then, how do you say that?
Dave Dost Michigan. I don't know what his fucking name is, but that guy.
Yeah. And
That's Polka Dot Man.
Yes,
I love that guy.
Yeah,
God.
Polka Dot Man. And then Joaquin Cosio. He's from Mexico. What's the
Narcos?
Narcos Mexico.
Yeah.
He's my favorite on that show. Juan Diego Botto.
There's 47
Mei Ling,
guys
and
in
it's
this
so
movie.
many people.
Fuck
I'm gonna stop.
We'll just talk about the cool guys.
The cool ones.
John Cena.
John Cena's
Straight out of the
badass.
gate. Who does he play? He's fucking. He plays like a dickhead.
Peacemaker. He's Peacemaker.
Yep. So he's like dickhead Captain America. Is basically what he is. He's like the truth, justice, and the American way, but like the mean version, like the real America, where we'll like stomp your ass and then not care.
Who was Nathan Fillion?
He is a guy named TDK.
Yeah.
Which I did a little research actually. Thank God, because that character is real fucking obscure. So TDK is stands for the Detachable Kid, and that is one of the like really obscure characters from the Legion of Superheroes. He can pull his limbs off and use them as weapons, and it's really stupid. It's almost as dumb as Matter Eater Lad as far as names.
Matter Eater Lad is badass.
Powers go. Matter Eater Lad's powers are actually good. They're just not very applicable in a crime fighty way.
Yeah.
And so same thing with TDK. Is that I think they just wanted an excuse to put Nathan Fillion in the movie.
Yeah.
And probably have a guy that can get blown up a bunch and not die.
He's fun, dude. It's like that's what's cool about being.
I've said you're the poor man's Nathan Fillion before. Give him one of these.
I need to lose some weight so I can get the job.
If you knew some lines from Dr. Horrible sing along, that'd be cool. But
yeah,
I have to learn some lines. But Polka Dot Man is also in the movie, and he's that guy. I don't know what his name really, how to pronounce his name, but if you saw Ant-Man, he's the computer dude. He's the Russian guy that's like, oh yes, we break in. And then you've got Pete Davidson. I don't remember who he's supposed to be.
I don't even know.
They didn't really tell you.
Didn't even
but
say.
Pete Davidson from SNL got a little love, and I'm pretty stoked on that.
Yeah.
I'm sure he's going to bring a lot. He's my favorite SNL.
They did schoolyard like thing. They got the 2 leaders.
Oh yeah, like dodgeball.
Yeah, they started
teams.
picking team members, and he was the last one to get picked. He was just like, this feels like junior high.
And then Idris Elba is Bonebreaker. What's his name? No, can't remember. Skull
I
Master.
don't even remember anymore.
Dog fucker. That's not his name.
That's not. It didn't even.
I don't remember what his name. He's the guy that shot Superman.
You know, he's a DJ.
Yeah, I did know that. I saw him on Hot Ones.
I was bartending this huge event down on South Austin where the American Statesman used to be, and he was walking around and stuff. And one of my buddies heard his voice.
Wow.
And was like,
that's
looked
fucking
over and it was
Idris
like,
Elba.
yeah, and it was like, holy crap, yeah.
Yeah,
Pretty
he's
cool.
God, I can't remember what the guy's name is. Bone Crusher, Bone Zygus,
Bone Thugs.
Bone Thug. He's the guy that shoots Superman. That's what he's famous for. And then you've got Michael Rooker is also in there.
Yeah.
And he plays
I don't even
Pygmalion
remember
or something like that.
Yeah, the Thinker.
Oh yeah, Peter Capaldi as the Thinker. That's
Yeah.
going to be huge.
Yeah, that's going to be real
Thinker
cool.
is one of those ones that you think that you're gonna get in the old Hulk movie. They kind of give you a teaser when that one guy from Oh Brother Where Art Thou falls down and the goo like falls in that wound on his head. They kind of give you a little juice, make you think you're gonna get Thinker, but we never got him. Arguably one of the meaner, more powerful DC villains. He's one of those ones that can just kind of like brain fuck you into doing whatever he wants. So I think this is going to be the movie. You know what? I'll tell you what.
Dude, it looks
I'll
hilarious.
tell you what it felt like to me. when I watched the trailer, it felt like if Tropic Thunder had superheroes in it.
That's what I was just gonna say.
No way.
I swear, I was just gonna say that.
That's very much the vibe that I got, and that bodes well for a superhero.
Yeah, that's gonna be awesome.
That's gonna be really good.
It'll be super awesome.
Yeah,
Well,
I think it's gonna be super good.
Let's move on to what everyone is talking about. Everyone is talking about this.
The Crunchwrap Supreme.
Yes,
The
and guys,
McRib's back.
yes. How did you know?
I come on, I keep a calendar of when the McRib is.
You're the one who actually decides. Dirk is actually the one who decides when the McRib comes
It's always
back.
in October.
Yes,
And it's always when pork prices are lower than they usually are. Imagine that.
yeah. Guys, if you're watching this right now, go ahead and share this.
Like it.
So your friends
Subscribe it.
can watch, and there
Bop
could be
it.
more
Twist
more
it.
people. Right now,
Pull it.
we got 2 viewers.
2. That's okay.
That's okay.
We don't need
We're
you.
on in a weird
We don't know
time
what time
in the
yeah, I was
nighttime.
gonna say we don't know what time it is in Brazil.
We
That's
get
where
our
all the
we
real
get our
hom-
yeah. That's where
all the real homies are.
obrigado. That's where we get our that's where our real friends are in Brazil.
Obrigado
Yeah,
de Brazil.
Brazil, what's
Viva
up?
la Brazil.
Obrigado reminds me of origato.
It reminds me of abogado, which is lawyer in Spanish, which is the most important word to know in Spanish.
Which reminds me of avocado, which is what you need if you. I don't even know. I got nothing. I got nothing. Well, let's go on to the trailer. We're
Aguacate abogado.
gonna the Batman,
The avocado lawyer.
the Batman,
The Batman. God damn it.
the Reeves Batman.
Ooh, girl.
Which I'm a Batfleck dude.
Ooh,
I
I liked
like Batfleck.
He's good.
I
He flecked, he
back him.
batted.
He's perfect. He's like for his age. That era of Batman is awesome. And
That's not the era that we're talking about.
yes. And I'm in a DC group on Facebook. And this guy was talking smack about it. Somebody put this thing. I'm going to show you a piece of. We're doing this for educational purposes.
That's right.
Yes. So we're not
Disclaimer,
we're not just using
this is for
content that belongs
referential
to
purposes.
this stuff. These clips belong to DC Comics
We don't
and
own any of this
Warner
shit.
Brothers. So
Yeah.
we're just doing this for educational
But under
purposes.
fair use.
Under
we are
fair use,
allowed
that's right.
To show them for educational and referral purposes.
But some crazy guy actually saw the full thing that of what I'm about to show you, and he was like, "Yeah, it looks stupid. That's weak." And I'm like, "Are you crazy?"
There's no accounting for taste.
No,
Some people just don't have it.
There's always going to be people that are unhappy, no matter what.
Crying.
Yes. Just like your buddy with the
The fucking game.
with the game, yeah.
With Arkham
So-
Knights. I said it again. Gotham Knights. Fuck.
Gotham Knights. There it is.
All right. Well, anyway,
Well,
ladies and gentlemen,
let's
without
go.
further
We're
ado,
gonna-
the Batman.
Yeah, we're gonna go through. This isn't the full trailer. I encourage everyone go watch it. It looks awesome.
Get your ass out
So-
there and watch that motherfucking Batman trailer. What are you doing?
Yeah. So here we go.
And then wait for a year and a
Boom.
half.
Look at that logo. I'm gonna pause. Whoops.
Boop, boop, boop. Boop, 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 boop.
Let's look at that. What do you think of that?
I love it.
I think it's
What's
badass.
not to like? I like they did the ears on the A.
Yeah.
That's
I
super
didn't
clutch.
even notice that.
Yeah.
And the just the whole color scheme is awesome.
I like they used a lot of red in this,
That's-
which kind of gives you that Batman Beyond vibe,
Yeah.
and I like it a lot.
That's my jam.
Yeah.
There we go. Boom. Warner Brother
This
action.
was the probably second most jaw-dropping thing that I saw.
that DC logo. I know.
of all of the stuff.
Commish.
You got the commish.
Commissioner Gordon.
The guy from Westworld. What's his name?
Jeffrey Wright.
Jeffrey Wright.
Jeffrey Wright's
Everybody likes that guy.
perfect. Yeah, he's
He was
awesome.
Perfect.
He's awesome. You got the suit. The suit looks
And we got
badass.
some good shots of the suit, and it doesn't look nearly as stupid as it looked in those stills that we got a couple of months ago.
Yeah, and his cowl looks good too.
Cowl looks great. It
Yeah.
looked really dumb in those fucking behind-the-scenes shots that we got, and I was pretty worried.
And-
I kept saying like, oh, maybe it's just the motorcycle helmet because he has a different
Yeah.
hat.
A lot of people were like, "Oh, it looks like Daredevil." Blah blah. It doesn't. It looks like Batman.
No,
it's
it
fucking
looks great.
This is dope.
I think maybe they might have added some neck pieces on the side because I feel like
Oh,
I
yeah,
remember.
may give 'em-
I remember it was just a skull cap,
Yeah.
but it looks great.
Let's see here. Moving forward, and then we got there's a
Oh,
little
Bruce
young Bruce
Wayne.
Wayne. Looks
Not that young, but young. And I think that this is the wayward Bruce Wayne. This is when you had the Christian Bale movie. You
Yeah.
remember when he goes around the world and he learns all the martial arts and becomes the League of Shadows and just goes like backpacking basically and like fucks off. I think this is the Bruce Wayne that you're getting there. They condensed that into like a 10-second scene in the
Yeah.
Nolan Batmans. I think that they're going to give him a little more play here.
this is and he's got the Gerard from My Chemical thing going.
The
little Black Parade.
The
going.
look is good. I think the
Yeah, I
look
think
is
he looks
real
good.
He's got the angst. He's got that gritty, like.
And he look at that look in his face.
That looks like Batman. If you if you do this, I can see like cut the top of his head off, and that's Batman right there for sure. I know Batman want to see him.
Let's see here. That Cobblepot, man.
Yeah, and that's a Colin Farrell too, one of the handsomest men that ever lived.
That does not look like a...
Give her a little tick tick, and see if we can get the light. So close. It kind of looks like Val Kilmer. You know when Val Kilmer got fat?
I'm gonna back it up a little
It kind of looks like when Val Kilmer...
There it is,
right
there
there.
it is.
Doesn't that look like the fat Val Kilmer?
Yeah, it does kind of look like... Dude,
Ironically, Batman.
that is some insane makeup, dude.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
It doesn't even look remotely like Colin Farrell.
Not at all. But that's awesome.
But I think he's really going to slay this role because if you play the Telltale Batman game, when that story arc I was telling you about that's going to follow this, I think, they modeled that off Colin Farrell.
Oh, really?
Like it wasn't him, but it's like how John Constantine is actually Sting.
Yeah,
and the guy that made John Constantine when Alan Moore made, it's Alan Moore. When Alan Moore made Constantine, he said that he modeled him off of Sting. In that game, they modeled the Penguin off of Colin Farrell, and now Colin Farrell's in the film.
Cool. All right, I'm gonna
Fat Val Kilmer.
Let's
one
go
more time.
forward a little bit. Boom.
And
Then that is supposed to be it's supposed to be the Riddler.
Yeah, and
which is weird. And like I saw a thing that this guy, they end up with this in the trailer, they end up with a scene with the guy there, his face is all duct taped up, and for a minute I thought that was supposed to be the Riddler, that he duct taped his own face, and I almost grabbed that clip, and then I was like, oh, this is, and I was like, which is crazy because you never have the Riddler with a face covered up,
right? And so I think that they're gonna give a little bit of a Nolan twist on the Riddler, and they're gonna make him a little grittier than he really is, because in the comics and in the cartoons and in the TV shows, he's always a really like funny ha ha ha.
Well, they changed. You said they changed his name.
They changed his name, and so that's what I think. I think they're going to change his character to either. My two theories are: one, he's kind of like a Jigsaw character, where he's like a murderer, because I mean, in some of the DC stuff, Riddler is like a sadistic, like twisted murderer. Like he sets like the traps and builds like complex riddles and puzzles and stuff, and like makes you like choose between your sister and your wife.
There's a close-up.
Yeah. So it's like that kind of gives me some Saw Hostel vibes, like the movie Hostel. And so I think that that's kind of where they're going to go with it, where he's more of a like, kind of like the movie Scream, you know, where it's like, do you like scary movies? Who was the killer in Friday the 13th? Oh, it was Jason. You're a fucking idiot. It was his mom. And
then they'll have David Arquette do a cameo
where he falls down the stairs. That was my favorite scene in that. But yeah, I can like this, and I would like it more, I think, if he has minions pretending to be him, and then it turns out that there's a reveal that the real Riddler has been like in a tower watching you on a TV screen the whole time. Like
and he's got a green thing.
I want him to have the bowler derby hat and I want him to have the question marks, like, and that's just me. That's what I want. But
I think that's a little bit too campy.
If they make
CW
this like
for this, like I think they're trying to make a grittier, more
real. And this feels very Nolan. This feels very Chris Nolan with this particular choice. But I can live with it if it's good, if he plays the character well.
All right, well, let's move forward and see what else we got.
And if not, I'll boycott it. Fuck y'all.
Haha. Then we got a little Catwoman action. Yeah.
What's it, Zoe Kravitz?
Zoe Kravitz, and she's perfect for this. And
perfect.
You get the little hood thing,
the
cowl. Yeah.
Yep. Little Selena Kyle action.
Yeah.
Any good Batman story.
Okay, this part I got to back this up a little because I want.
Those guys look like the dudes from Fury Road from Mad Max.
Yeah. Notice me. Again, this is for educational purposes, so we haven't been using audio and all this stuff, except where I think it's really important.
And this is one of those times.
This is a time, and the audio of this part when I saw this,
Jaw on the floor.
I was like,
Jaw on the floor.
This is perfect. This is gonna be good.
So now a moment of silence for the coolest part of 2020.
Oh yeah, this will probably be the 5 seconds that gets this pulled off of YouTube. But whatever,
Don't care.
It's worth it for
Worth
you
it.
people. For the 0 viewers that we have right now, it's worth it. For all you Brazilians, how many Brazilians are there?
A Brazilian of them?
That's right. Boop, boop. All right, here we go.
The hell are you supposed to be?
I'm vengeance. Girl. The car looks fine. We were all worried about the car. The car looks dope.
Super dope. That looks awesome. The whole scene.
What I really loved there.
The ass kicking
Oh.
is perfect. That's what I love about Ben Affleck's character.
He does beat the
really
most ass.
Beats the most
He
ass of
beats the
anybody.
most ass out of any Batman yet, until now.
But this is a pissed off Batman. This is young, and he goes back for more.
That was my favorite part, is that
Yeah.
because that's part of Batman's lore. He doesn't start off with the restraint that he has later. If you've read the Year One Batman comic, which is one of my faves, he's a lot more reckless. He's really a kid. He's still angry about his parents.
It's tormented emotion that makes people go back.
He
and
hasn't
do that.
become this rock hard, fucking laser focused, not like Dark Knight yet.
Yeah.
He's just a fucking mad kid with a bunch of money and a fucking chip on his shoulder, and he is going to whoop a lot of people's asses in this film. And that's what I want. I want Batman breaking people's arms and throwing them out windows and fucking... Because that key part is what makes him so good later, is that he has been angry.
Yeah.
And then he has forged himself in the fires of that anger and then becomes a detective. Where he's not mad, he's smart.
Yeah.
And that's what you want. But we're not going to get that in this movie, I don't think. He's going to probably get his first little taste of World's Greatest Detective trying to suss out who the Riddler is or what the Riddler's up to.
But the loss of his parents, that's what drives the entire creation of the character in the first place.
Right.
So he's got to beat some of that emotion out for the
Right.
first few years.
He has
you know?
to,
It's
yeah,
like,
he has to hammer the blade, you know, he's got to temper the steel. And I think that in this movie, you're going to get a lot of him getting his ass kicked. Because
Yeah.
that's another thing. In Batman Year One, Batman gets beat the shit, like, all the time. The first time Batman tries to beat some people, like, he goes and, like, tries to fight a gang, and he gets fucked up, and I think he gets stabbed. And then Alfred has to, like, what the fuck is wrong with you? And he's like, I'm stupid. And he's like, you're going to need a fucking bulletproof suit if you're going to do this all the time. And he's like, what a good idea.
Well, speaking of Daredevil, that's what I loved about Daredevil so much is he gets the crap beaten out of him, and he's like a human being.
Yes.
That he's got skills and gifts, but he gets beat up, and I love a character that gets beat up too.
Yeah, and I really think they're going to lean in on him getting whooped in this film.
And that's like a big problem most people have with Superman. The people that don't like
That's why I
Superman,
hate Superman.
they're like, whatever, he can just he can't get hurt.
Right,
Like,
he's like allergic to garlic bread, and then he also other than that, he just gets beat up he beats everybody up all the time. He's the Deus Ex Machina of the DC universe, which makes him really easy not to like, because like I never liked the Red Power Ranger either, because the Red Power Ranger always gets all the cool shit. And then you're like, well, what about the blue one? The blue one's dope. And they're like, yeah, we gave him one episode in season 1 where he was afraid of fish. And so we fixed that. And now, you know, I just don't like the Red Ranger mentality of like, there's one cool guy on the team and he gets all the stuff. I like the nice, even spread.
well, in the Star Trek universe, the red shirt gets the opposite. So
Oh, they die every time.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's great. That's what you get. Ensign Ricky. Isn't that what they called him? Ensign Ricky?
Ensign Ricky.
believe.
Well, you want to talk about that was pretty much for DC Fandome. It was awesome, man. We really loved it.
Shazam 2's also coming out. We'll throw that out there just to say it, because
Oh, yeah.
Shazam 2 had a sick Sinbad fucking cameo.
So I'm going to go down the list. First off, on September 12th, there's going to be part 2 of DC Fandome.
We'll
so
cover that,
yeah,
too,
we're
obviously.
gonna watch that, and I'm sure there's going to be a bunch more good stuff. Thank you, DC, for all the ass kicking that you're doing. We got Black Adam comes out 2021. Gotham Knights video game comes out 2021. Wonder Woman, October 2nd, 2020. Yes, this year.
Hallelujah.
The Suicide Squad, we're like, that's going to be so far off, they couldn't possibly have a release date. No, they do. It's August 6th, 2021. The Batman. They couldn't.
Question mark.
They don't. The Batman.
Yeah.
I'm Ron Burgundy. They didn't. They couldn't possibly have a release date. So they haven't even. They've only filmed a third of it. Actually, they
That
do.
trailer will get me quite a bit.
I mean,
of the
I'll
way
just
down
go.
the
They can
line.
just replay that. I'll watch it several times.
Second trailer's got to be bonkers to beat that.
It's going to be nuts.
Yeah.
They've hardly filmed anything, and they managed to piece together something great to watch. I can't wait till they get a little more stuff done. That one is supposed to. It's supposed to be October 1st, 2021 is the Batman. Yes.
Tentatively. These are all tentative.
That's what the interweb says.
The world might just explode before that, and we don't get.
We could
any
have
of this.
6 more pandemics by then. You know.
Who knows?
Yeah.
So that was all the DC stuff, and that was fucking awesome. I really enjoyed it.
Really
I didn't
good.
think I was going to enjoy it. Normally, stuff like that, I don't like the proxy experience.
Virtual.
Yeah,
It's like,
whatever.
hey, this will be real cool. One of these days that we're gonna have Oculus.
VR, yeah.
That's gonna be super dope. But
Fucking be there.
they did great, man. All of the art, everything they did, it looked great. It was fun. The vibe was fun. They did a great job. So DC, thanks for doing that. And during pandemic times when we're all stuck at home. So.
Appreciate that.
Yeah.
For sure.
So, let's talk about some Star Wars stuff.
Yeah, you knew it was going to come. We couldn't get away with talking about Star Wars for a second. So, right off the gate.
Yeah, so I've watching some stuff, and I saw Obi-Wan series. Now it's confirmed they're going to be doing that. Deborah Chow, who did some of the Mandalorian first season episodes, she's a badass action director. She's going to be directing that. It's going to be with Ewan McGregor, of course, and it's a limited series. So that's going to be
You're probably
pretty
going to
cool.
get 6, 8 episodes, maybe. Maybe
Yeah.
maybe 10 if they're feeling
and of course
generous.
we're speculating. We don't know.
We don't know
We
anything.
don't know, but it's gonna be a limited series. Why? Because Ewan McGregor makes movies, and he's probably not gonna hang
Then
out
again,
for.
he hasn't done anything in a while.
Well,
I'm
sure
he
he
might
could
just
make
be
it-
like, "Fuck it, sign me up for 3 seasons."
Let's hope for
Plus,
that because
I'm sure he wants some of that fucking sweet Disney money. Because when he made Star Wars movies, they weren't Disney property.
And I feel like his character got slighted anyway.
Yeah,
it
he didn't get
kinda-
enough love.
Yeah.
He got a lot of love in the Clone Wars cartoon and in the like that was like he got a lot more action in that, but it wasn't Ewan McGregor.
Yeah.
So I'm sure he'll be champing at the bit to put a little more love in the character, and I wouldn't be surprised if he says fuck it and signs up for 2 or 3 seasons.
Yeah.
Because I haven't. I mean, if you can name the last thing Ewan McGregor was in, I'll give you $10 because I can't fucking think of it. Yeah, exactly.
No, Harley Quinn.
He's in that?
Harley Quinn. The Birds of Prey movie. He's in that.
What?
He's the villain.
Oh, who is he?
He's a fucking villain.
Yeah,
I
but
don't
what's
know.
the who's the?
I don't
you
remember his
who the
name.
bad guy? Wow,
It's a
I
DC
didn't
character,
I didn't
so it'd be
see
like.
that. And so what?
DC character, so it's probably like
Right.
Can Crusher or something like like I don't remember. But
Can Crusher.
He is an eccentric club owner that I can't remember. He
It's
puts
gotta
on-
be Black
he put-
Mask.
he- yeah,
He's
it is.
Black
It's
Mask. That's what it is. I'm so good. I'm so
yeah,
smart.
Can Crusher. Yeah,
Can Crusher.
It is Black
I want to
Mask.
be Can Crusher.
But yeah, he's awesome. You need to go frickin' dude. I'm embarrassed you haven't seen
You haven't seen
Birds
Space
of Prey.
Jam. Get out of here,
Dude, Birds of Prey. He's talking smack to me because I haven't seen Space Jam, and he hasn't seen Birds of Prey.
I didn't see either of those. I watched the first Suicide Squad. I didn't see that. That's the second Harley Quinn movie, right?
Yes, go
Harley
see it.
Quinn and the
It's-
Fantastic
Dude, it's super fun.
Beasts and Where to Find. I'll try it.
It's
I'll
super.
give it a shot
It's
tonight.
super fun.
I'll watch it tonight. I'll call today. I'll call now.
I mean, it's like a fun vibe. Like when I first watched Ragnarok.
Yeah.
And it's just like.
Ragnarok was it's untouchable. That's my favorite Marvel
Yeah,
movie.
it's
Incredible.
a fun ride. Like you're just like, hey, this is
And
just.
speaking of Taika Waititi, the guy that the
Hey,
guy
you just pop some some Samsung Galaxies like
Exploded.
Their earpieces exploded and the batteries popped. after that.
Speaking of Taika Waititi, who directed Thor Ragnarok,
yeah,
he's also on board.
well, he's gonna be directing the next movie, whatever the next movie is. He's gonna be directing it. So good segue, by the way.
I was trying.
Yeah.
I was trying to
Oh, yeah.
set you up.
Yes. yeah, he's going to be doing that.
And he can do no wrong. You also need to watch What We Do in the Shadows because he made that, and that's like his like breakout film, and it's amazing.
And Mandalorian, he directed some of those episodes, and he's hilarious, dude.
Jojo Rabbit.
If you watch the I think it's called Gallery. It's the behind the scenes of the Mandalorian. He's in there. All the directors are in there. It's really fun at least for me. And maybe I'm just I'm a technical kind of dude. I do all this sound and all this crap. I love the technical stuff. Which really cool to see how they do all of the behind the scenes and the filming and everything, and even just planning and plotting how they're going to do these movies or this TV show is really cool. He's in there. All of them are in there. So anyway, go check out the Gallery. It's on Disney Plus if you haven't seen that, along with the first season of Mandalorian.
If you haven't seen season 1 of Mandalorian, you don't have any business watching this fucking podcast.
Exactly.
Might as well go home.
Do you remember when the second season of Mandalorian is happening?
It's supposed to be October 2nd, I think.
Is it? It's like the one thing I didn't look up.
It's coming up real soon. It's in October, I think.
It's the one thing I did not look up. And
no, I'm almost certain it's October.
I'm embarrassed. Well, it probably will be in my notes. Well, I saw Kathleen. I thought Kathleen Kennedy bailed.
Maybe Mandela affected that. I distinctly remember.
Maybe the other reality before you came back from the Taco Bell thing.
I distinctly remember saying that, reading and saying that she resigned and then like stepped down from Lucasfilm over the Lucas cut.
Yeah.
But apparently that's not the case.
Apparently it's not the case. And a couple days ago, there was an interview with her, and so pretty much what they said, they're putting off doing the next Star Wars movie. And pretty much what it boils down to is, well, let's see if I can quote her. We just need time to step back and really absorb what George Lucas has created. Okay, blah, 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 blah. The stories have been told within this universe for the last 40 years, and there's now the realization that this is a mythology that actually spans about 25,000 years.
I'm glad you guys realized that 9 movies in.
When you really start to look at all the different stories that have been told, whether it's in books or in games.
Finally, motherfucker.
Yeah, we just need time to step back and really absorb what George Lucas has created, and then start to think about where things might go. That's what we've been doing, and we've been having a really great deal of fun while doing it, and meeting lots of different filmmakers and talent. So what that means is they have a whole bunch of people who are Star Wars fans that are pitching ideas for what they're gonna do, and.
I'd be willing to bet that this is going to lead to some Shadows of the Empire stuff. That's the easiest way to keep the stuff that's already happened relevant, but move on to new shit.
They can get back. They can get back to the Old Republic.
You can still cameo a fucking Luke Skywalker hologram in there every now and then, but you don't have to have them be the main character of the show. Yeah,
well, I mean, the Skywalker saga was supposed to be. It's always supposed to have been 9 episodes. Yeah. So they finally punctuated that. Let's move on, which is actually what you've been saying. You're like, yeah, you've been saying that. So they're finally doing it and putting off the movie release. What they're pretty much doing, I think they're like, look, man, we had a lot of great success with Mandalorian, and people are loving it, and let's do what
they're going to explore the fringe a little more.
Yeah, let's do what we did with that.
Because Mando's kind of fringe.
Yeah. And so they're going to do that. That's a perfect test thing. All they got to do is put these shows out on Disney Plus, and then they can see what the fans think, and the stuff that's successful they can make into movies. And they got the Obi-Wan thing, they got an Ahsoka. I'm pretty sure I don't know if it's confirmed. I don't know if it's confirmed or if it's just a talk. I think they've been talking about doing a female-led series, and they haven't quite confirmed it. But there's talk about Rosario Dawson doing Ahsoka Tano in the Mandalorian season 2. So that's a no-brainer, dude. That's like yeah. I mean, they
that's
haven't
par
said
for
it.
the course. I would bet. I mean, what you think they're going to do an all-girl group of something in 2020?
I mean,
it's like the thing you do. I mean, and I'm not saying that's bad, but it's definitely probably going to happen. It's going to be like Team Girl Squad, Ahsoka, fucking Asajj Ventress, fucking Mara Jade. I've heard a lot of rumors about Mara Jade too, how they're going to bring her in because that's Luke's wife.
Yeah,
and she's another Jedi, and she's a girl. And
going back, if I got to back this up to DC for a minute.
Back it on up
because you just reminded me.
Beep.
I don't know if last episode this information had been released, But the whole world knows now. Keaton and Batfleck are going to be in
Flash movie.
Yeah, the Flash movie, and we didn't just say that like we should have, but 10 minutes ago. But there's talk that Ben Affleck is going to be in real quick, just like probably a cameo and a farewell.
Right, I think that's them giving him the like.
Yeah, he
seeing
gets
him off.
See you later, and then there's talk that Keaton is going to be a permanent character. So I think they're going to have old Batman training, possibly training Batgirl, and then possibly have a all girl thing. Going.
Call this right now.
Okay.
I'll tell you exactly how the fuck this is gonna go. Flash movie. Flash is gonna run on the cosmic treadmill. He's gonna fuck up the timeline somehow. He's gonna run into Michael Keaton Batman. Batman's gonna come back to real time to help him fix whatever he fucked up. Normal Ben Affleck Batman is also going to be present and helping. Then something's going to happen. The timeline's going to be so fucked, and it's going to be like, somebody has to stay here and push the button to fix the thing. And Ben Affleck's going to be like, I'll do it. You guys get out of here.
Or it'll be, hey, you're going to have to go back to, but if I do that, it'll erase you. Just do it.
Fucking do it. I would have done it 10 minutes ago.
Yeah.
And so then Michael Keaton will get stuck in the future, and he'll be like, well, I got nothing better to do, so I'm going to train Terry McGinnis and get a fucking Batman Beyond bit popping off. And then I'll also just pass a little knowledge on to, Batgirl and Batwoman and all the other bats. And so I will fucking bet you dollars to donuts. That's the general theme of what's going to happen with that Batman shit. And I don't give a fuck. It's going to be awesome.
Yeah, it's going to be cool.
Be tight.
It will
You're
be
going to
cool.
get to see if Michael Keaton doesn't punch somebody in the face. I really want him to grab the fucking fire poker. Do you remember? You want to get nuts? Let's get nuts. It's my favorite fucking line from that movie.
Well, okay. Flash forward. Get it? See what I did there?
Yeah.
Back to Star Wars. They're also going to do a Cassian Andor series. I didn't know. For those who don't know, that's Diego Luna from Rogue One. His character, which he was awesome in Rogue One, is and I think a lot of people agree, the best of all these new movies.
The only Star Wars movie that's ever come out that nobody had anything negative to say about. Ever in history.
Yes.
The only Star Wars piece of media, period, that has ever come out that nobody had a negative thing to say.
It's like that and Mandalorian.
Yeah.
That's and both of those things were new things.
Material.
New material, new characters.
Based on the old stuff.
Which
Rogue One was new, but it was old. And I
Yeah.
think that's kind of the vibe that they're going to want to pluck from.
But it didn't. It didn't focus on Skywalkers and
Not
stuff.
at all.
So I think that's a promising look into the future.
Shout out to Diego Luna for being in The Terminal, too, because that's one of my fucking jams.
Yeah, and
Tom Hanks.
He's also in
Narcos. He's the narco guy? Or is that the other dude? Are we racist?
Dude, I get him and what's his face mixed up.
I
all
get
the
those
time.
two guys mixed up all the time, too. I know exactly who you're talking about.
Prince Oberyn.
Oberon.
Yeah.
Well, Diego Luna's great. Everybody likes him. Everybody likes Star Wars. Everybody loved Rogue One. And it's going to have to be like a past thing. You know what I mean? Like, because he dies. Spoiler alert. Everybody dies in Rogue One. So it's going to have to be like a before Rogue One story for him, I think. I'm crossing my fingers we get to see a fucking Dash Rendar at some point, because that Shadows of the Empire shit, though it got very, very weird, it's the most logical jump from this old stuff, or from this new stuff, because you kind of get to go back, but the back is in the future. You know what I mean? Shadows of the Empire, the books came out like 10, 15 years after the final Return of the Jedi movie. But it takes place 30 years after Return of the Jedi. So I don't know how it'll work, but I think it's going to be cool.
Yeah, it's going to be cool. All this stuff is cool. I'm excited about all
We're
this
doing
stuff.
a lot of timeline fuckery here in 2020, and I'm here for it.
And I'm
here for it.
I'm down.
I'm into it.
Well, let's get into. You want to get into some nonfiction?
Yeah, a little real life news.
A little real life. What else
Cheer
we
you
got?
guys up.
Well, first off, before we do that, I just started watching Lovecraft Country on it. Well, and if we're gonna be doing this, I gotta.
And that's based on the Cthulhu verse, right? That's like based on
Movies and TV.
That's based on H.P. Lovecraft, right? Like actual. Yeah.
It's based. It's actually a black family in the Jim Crow era, and the main character is a guy that's in the army, and he's a science fiction fan. And there's books and stuff that he reads that are H.P. Lovecraft stuff, and he loves it. And so they end up, his dad's missing, and then he goes off looking for his dad along with his uncle, and they end up going through all these racist towns, where the sundown towns, where you better not get caught in here before
Don't be
sundown.
black
and
after
all.
6 p.m. or we're gonna get you.
Yeah, and there's actually a scene in the first one where they're like running for the tracks to get out of there. I don't want to spoil what the episode is. Watch it; it's really good. But all I gotta say is, like, when you don't, this just looks like a really interesting, likable family that are traveling and doing this thing, and then out of nowhere it gets supernatural and crazy, and monsters come out of the woodwork in the woods.
It kind of gave me
and they go looking for stuff, and it's called Lovecraft Country because it's areas that the books are written about, like that where H.P. Lovecraft like
and
wrote
that's of
from.
course somehow tied
And-
into his
and
dad
so-
being missing.
Yeah, and so, but it like pretty much, from what I've seen, I haven't seen the rest of the season, only seen the first episode. It's pretty much like, hey, we're gonna go here, and we're like, oh, that's the place from in the book or whatever, and like, so they go, and it makes you think that, hey, these stories that were written were actually based on reality. It's supposed to be sci-fi.
There's
and,
a lot
and
of conspiracy
stuff. And-
about Lovecraft that he wasn't writing nonfiction. Like he was,
Yeah.
he experienced some cosmic shit and actually communicated with otherworldly beings, and that's where he got the idea for Cthulhu and all that stuff, was that he actually was like an occultist.
Yeah.
I mean, and that he actually like made contact, and not like not like a hokey, like I used a Ouija board, like did real rituals and did like real old dark magic, like
Took some ayahuasca and
pre-Bible shit that
Yeah.
like when you talk about the religion and things that people believed before Christianity,
Yeah.
there's a lot of stuff to cover that like we don't even know about.
Oh,
Like,
there's so
you
many
don't even fucking
civilizations,
know-
yeah.
Yeah, you don't know dick about any of the old gods that people worshipped before, all of the
I mean, there's Sumerians. There's
ancient Sumerians.
Yeah, and there's so much old
stuff like that.
Yeah.
So I saw the trailer for it, and it kind of gave me American Horror Story vibes.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of felt like that. I'm watching Justified right
How is
now.
that? How you like
It's got
Justified?
Timothy Olyphant. I love Timothy Olyphant.
I like
it's
him.
not exciting and it's not new, but it had 8 seasons, and I'm running out of shit to watch. So, but it's really good. It's real fucking cowboy gunslinger-y kind of vibe, but it's like takes place now. So it's kind of like watching The Gunslinger or like Gunsmoke or The Rifleman, but in a modern setting, and I really like it.
I've seen the title card for that, and I just have not.
The theme song sucks. I fucking hate it, but the show's really good.
It's Justin Timberlake do the.
No, it sounds like Uncle Cracker. It's really bad.
I think Justified is
On this lonely road.
Justin Timberlake record called Justified.
Yeah,
That
he
might-
definitely had that, but that ain't him. But the show's good, and I also finished Umbrella Academy season 2.
Yeah.
And man, that was good. It was
super dope.
way better than the first season.
Yeah, it was really good.
Leaps and bounds better than the first season. A lot more action, a lot more lore, a lot more drama between the characters, and a lot more Klaus, which is what I want. Klaus is the shit.
Oh, I also watched. I watched the Netflix movie
Powers.
with the powers with the pill.
What's it called?
Did you watch that?
Yeah, I watched it too. Jamie Foxx.
Jamie
I liked
Foxx.
it. I liked
it was good. Yeah, it was really
I
good.
just also thought it was kind of fucking stupid that they'd make a drug that only gives you powers for 5 minutes.
Yeah.
It's like what?
Well,
Like,
they said that. They said we're trying to make it permanent, but this
Yeah.
is what we got now. But one day.
yeah, 5 minutes though. Like you could definitely get some shit done with 5 minutes, but it's just a way. It reminds me of Hour Man from Stargirl, but at least he gets a fucking hour. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
No.
anyway,
Well, how
Kim Jong-un.
How about that North Korea?
good old North Korea. Nothing happening there. Let me guess. No news from North Korea.
No.
Or something fucking.
Oh, Kim Jong Un.
Something batshit crazy that
is,
doesn't sound like.
and
it's
I
real.
haven't actually read any articles about this, but I've been hearing from people.
I have.
Yeah, that he's in a coma and his sister's running stuff.
Running Korea.
Is that the deal?
Yeah. So well, okay, you would think, but last time we checked in with North Korea and the Un family, Kim Jong Un had faked his own death to like suss out fucking rats in his camp and like pick out the narcs and the people that were plotting against him. So I don't know if he's really in a coma or if he's just fucking doing a double blind to try to find out who's gunning for the chair. And you see this a lot in dictators. There's other dictators that have done shit like this. we talked about it earlier. I'm not sure if it was Marx or if it was Lenin or Stalin, but one of them just fucking executed like their whole cabinet because they were worried that somebody was plotting for the throne. And Hitler did the same thing. He had like body doubles and shit.
Yeah.
And fucking Saddam Hussein had fucking body doubles that got plastic surgery to make them look more like him. So it's like, if you're talking about a crazy dictator in a fucking country with nukes.
Hey, what do you get when you cross a penis and a potato?
A dictator? Fuck you. Get out of here. We'll keep posted on that. I mean,
well, dude, this week I listened to several podcasts. I listened to one called the Darknet Diaries.
Oh yeah,
it's fantastic. I sent
you. You linked me to.
Yeah, and there was one episode that I listened to this week, and they talked about this girl that escaped North Korea, and it was really interesting.
Can we start calling North Korea NOCO?
NOCO, yeah, do it, NOCO.
Okay. Just wanted to
NOCO, and it was a really
trying to rebrand the North Korea thing.
It was really intense story, and it's a really listening to that. Like, a lot of people don't really realize what's going on there.
Oh yeah, they live in like Pleasantville. It's like it's like the Truman Show.
They don't have any outside contact to anybody. This girl, she was talking about it. She said they don't have any electricity except twice a year. They turn it on for like New Year, for like, I think it's like government day or whatever. They have a big celebration every year, and that's usually when they'll like fire off some missile or do something.
Turn on the power.
And they'll turn on the power so that everybody can be like, yes, let's celebrate me.
And they film that.
And they do that, and everybody's like, yay, we got power, and worship you got to like worship the dictator, and that's what they do.
They don't have power at all year round?
Not everywhere. It depends.
Okay.
Certain areas where there's officers, but like this girl, she's like, my town doesn't have power except twice a year, and which blows my mind. They don't have internet. When they started talking about it, they called it intranet, but they don't have computers and things.
They have intranet, but intranet
it's contained in there. So the people that do have it, it's contained and
monitored.
Yes,
by the government.
And people smuggle in DVDs and stuff, and
you get your hand cut off for watching fucking.
That's nothing. They kill you. They'll
pirated DVDs.
They don't have any access to external stuff.
Imagine fucking dying because you watched Christmas Vacation.
Well, here's the deal: they'll turn on the power. Occasionally, they do at other random times. So they'll turn the power on, and so people are like starving for anything, like stuff that we take for granted. We get to watch all of this. Yeah. We have everything. You can watch anything you want. You got people like, oh my god, I'm so bored. I don't want to pay $9 for whatever subscription. These guys don't have anything, and so they'll get a bootleg thing, DVD that gets thrown across the river from China, and they get it in there and they watch it. The power comes on, sweet. They put it into something that they can play DVDs on, and then the power gets cut off and it gets stuck in their player. And then people come over. Somebody hears that they have a DVD. They'll come over, and then they'll take their player, plug it in somewhere else, and find the DVD in there. And then they take them in the middle of the town and execute them.
Wow.
Yeah, they're like, Sometimes they go off light, and they end up getting sent to
go to rock
prison camp for 13 years.
Rock and roll prison.
So this girl, she said one of the craziest things. I didn't mean to go off on a rant, but this is something that I was really thinking about a lot. We're going to end
this episode on a real low note.
Yeah, no, we're about to make it better. It is. This girl told me, or she told me. She said in the interview, she said, when she managed to see a copy of Titanic, and seeing a love story, that blew her mind. That fabric of her reality. It's like, wow, people live like
people
this. People love. Yeah, it's like everything.
There's love in the world.
Everything in their world is to only love the dictator, and that is it. And just something like that can stretch somebody's horizons to think, wow, there's something else out there. I could go out maybe if I can.
That Celine Dion track. Let's be real. What are you
gonna
do?
If I can escape, I might find something else out there where it's like people that have been in a cage their whole life. Mm-hmm. They don't know there's something outside of there. So
and that's why America's tight.
And so, that is why America's tight. And you got all
the cartoons I want.
You got a lot of crybabies that cry about stuff. They don't realize there's places in the world where you're a Chinese Muslim who's in a labor camp.
They're harvesting your organs.
Or you cross a river into China from North Korea, and you end up getting killed or put in prison and stuff. It's super sad. And here's something you can do. There is an organization called Flash Drives for Freedom.
Yeah.
Yes, what they're doing is they're loading up content on flash drives and they're smuggling it into North Korea. Also, they're taking multi-terabyte drives and they're filling it with movies and just music and movies and all kinds of stuff, along with tons and tons of flash drives, and smuggling it in there. And then you got somebody like a drug dealer who just got
Hey man, you want to see Christmas Vacation?
who just got like 4 pounds of weed and he's like breaking it off into little bits and sending it out. It's like that, but he's just sending out flash drives full of stuff.
That's amazing.
And just.
Life finds a way.
It's weird. Human beings will find a way. Just exposing somebody to what freedom looks like, and that it gives them hope to go do something and to get out of there. And
Flashdrivesforfreedom.org.
I don't know. I don't even know. Do a Google search. I might even be. It might be. I might even be saying it wrong. I'm doing this off memory. I didn't plan to go off on a rant right now about this, but it's just something I was like, that's something that's really cool. That's a cause I would like to donate. Next time it's time for me to donate to something.
Oh, we're donating.
I really believe in that. So
for sure.
So maybe we could do something with the show.
That.
I'm gonna contact them. In fact, Flash Drives for Freedom.
If you hear this,
contact us.
We'll do it. We'll
and if we
out.
can figure something out, we'll do something with y'all.
I got some nerds. I'll send some stuff.
Yeah.
We'll send all kinds of crap. I'll send all the episodes of Thundercats on DVD.
Yeah. And man, we're at an hour and 20 minutes.
Yeah,
we went way over today.
Yeah, oh well. It was a good episode. We had a lot to cover
good
with
episode.
DC Fandome.
Next week we got more DC Fandome coming. So tune in, and I'm gonna hit the.
I think it's the 12th.
It is. It's DC Fandome's. Oh, I called that wrong. It's September 12th.
So next week it'll just be random other shit. But
We'll
then
just
the
talk
week
about
after
other
that,
shit. Yeah.
more DC Fandome.
So guys, like, share, subscribe.
Do all the things. Push
Yeah.
the key. Tell your friends.
Yeah, and join our Black Shirt Podcast discussion group on Facebook.
And then send a bunch of fucking cool movies, pirated movies to Korea because you're fucking cool and freedom's tight.
Yeah, and like us, subscribe to us, hit the notification bell on YouTube.
Push the key.
Go to podcasts. Listen to us
Spotify,
there.
Apple Music.
All over the place,
Not
man.
Tidal, Friendster,
That's right.
Club Penguin, MySpace.
Yes. So
Awesome.
So that's all the stuff. We want to say thank you, guys.
Especially you, Brazil.
That's right.
All right. Thanks a lot.
All
We'll see you
right.
next week.